Types of retaining walls. What is a retaining wall? A retaining wall is a structure designed and constructed to resist the lateral pressure of soil when there is a desired change in ground elevation. Gravity retaining wall, cantilever retaining wall, anchored retaining wall, counterfort buttress, retaining wall, sheet pile, retaining wall. Gravity retaining walls use the gravitational force of their own weight to resist the lateral earth pressure from the soil behind them. Built of concrete, masonry, brick, blocks, or mass cast in situ concrete. A cantilever retaining wall is a type of retaining wall that uses a cantilevered structure to resist the lateral pressure of the soil behind it. The wall is typically constructed of reinforced concrete. The cantilever retaining wall consists of the following parts: the base slab that has a toe, a heel, and key, and the stem that is the vertical wall. As shown, an anchored retaining wall is a structure that employs anchoring cables or rods for added stability when holding back soil. It is also known as tie-back wall. A counterfort retaining wall is a cantilever wall with counterforts or buttresses attached to the inside face of the wall to further resist lateral thrust. Sheet pile walls are retaining walls constructed to retain earth, water, or any other filling materials. These walls are thinner in section compared to masonry walls. Sheet pile walls are generally used for following waterfront structures, that is, in building wharfs, quays, and piers, building diversion dams such as cofferdams, riverbank protection, retaining the sides of cuts made in earth. Sheet pile walls can be of timber, reinforced concrete, or steel. Retaining wall failures. Failure by sliding, failure by overturning, failure by soil bearing, failure by global instability. The wall will slide if the lateral thrust exceeds the frictional resistance developed between the base of the wall and the soil. This occurs when the turning moment due to lateral forces exceeds that due to the self-weight of the wall. The bearing capacity failure occurs when the retaining wall's foundation cannot hold the weight of the soil behind it. The wall could sink or crumble as a result of this. The general mass movement of a segmental retaining wall, Surrey W structure, and the adjacent soil is called global stability failure. Thank you, and kindly stay tuned by subscribing at Bartlick channel for construction basic knowledge.